Previously on the Rod Pedersen Show.
We don't mind if the USA gets to the final. We don't want them to win it, but just leave that garbage can in the dressing room. And I'm like, it's still coming up. Can you talk about that garbage can?
Yep. It wasn't a garbage can. It got a little twisted in the
You tell us the story, because I watched it. I'm like, what are they doing?
Yeah, so the story, the backstory, we each tournament, there's like a new thing that kind of motivates us. And that year it was the barrel. I guess the story is when you're crossing the Sahara Desert, there are these oil barrels, I guess. So every certain number of miles, they have a barrel so you wouldn't get lost. And so we were always looking towards that next barrel, the next game. So that was, it kind of led to that picture. So after each game, we take a picture with that. So we have a new thing going in the locker room now. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it yet, so I'll have to wait. But I'm sure it'll come out soon.
You can literally see how we saw it.
Yes. No, I can definitely understand how it got misconstrued, but yeah, no, it was all in good fun. It was just our motivation.
So you all know, right? The viewers, you know this. They had it looked like a garbage can with Team Canada on it. So we're like, they're saying we're garbage. So anyways, how often does that come up with you guys?
Honestly, we haven't talked about it much. Yeah, actually, when it first came out, we were we can see why it got a little misinterpreted, but yeah, it was not meant to come off that way.
Get ready for the Rod Pedersen Show.
Breaking news, by the way, from the NHL. Robin Lehner will miss the entire upcoming season after it was determined he will require hip surgery. How do you see the Pacific Division shaking out next year, given the way it unfolded last year?
Well, it just changed a little bit right now. When Robin played the Oilers, for example, and a chance to see him up close and personal, I thought he played quite well. Right now, I think the two Alberta teams are probably going to lead the way in the Pacific.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Hope you're ready for the weekend. We're going to kick it off for you here live from Rogers Place. It's the RP Show, episode number 819 of your favorite daytime sports and entertainment talk show. I'm with Lee Genier. How you doing, sir?
Fantastic, as usual.
Good to hear. Good to hear. The COO of the Rod Pedersen Show Corporation, and we are here for day 4 of the World Junior Hockey Championship. But listen, there's going to be a lot of football talk here today. Fridays are reserved for the gridiron, and joining us live in the next segment will be great Cup champion, former Edmonton Elks color commentator Eddie Steele, former Edmonton Eskimo, Hamilton Tiger Cat, and Saskatchewan Roughriders are going to be right here. The general manager of the Western Hockey League champion Edmonton Oil Kings, Kirt Hill's going to be with us. My old buddy Hilly, he used to play for the Pats when I called the games. I'm looking forward to seeing him. And the voice of the Edmonton Oilers on 6:30 Ched, Cam Moon, going to be with us right down here. So it's a big day, Lee. Yeah, those are the guests. Can we hit the quick 6 show horn, please, Director Jordan? And let's get right down to it. Please and thank you. Tell all your friends. Send out the text. The RP Show is live on YouTube right now. Let's get the numbers up. Please be sure to like it. Tell your friends to subscribe because you love the show so much. We're going to start with football, Lee, because we do have the hockey guests coming in later on, but it is a Flame Tech Football Friday. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers' perfect season is kaput. Winnipeg lost 20-17 in overtime at IG Field on Thursday night to the 3-6 Montreal Alouettes. David Cote hit a 43-yard field goal in overtime to put Montreal up before Mark Leggio hit the upright and missed on a 37-yard field goal with a chance to tie it up again and go to a second overtime. The teams had met just a week earlier in Montreal with the Bombers winning that one by 15. This was the upset of the season in the Canadian Football League. What do you think?
Yeah, going into there, because Winnipeg was favored by 11 points going in. So you saw Montreal brought it yesterday. Their defense, they got to the quarterback. Their pass rush was amazing last night. And I know the big debate was, did Winnipeg lose it or did Montreal win it? So, we could get into that. But
we are going to get into that. And this is a guy who spent Was it officially 20 seasons with the Calgary Stampeders?
Yes.
As their vice president of sales and marketing and business, and of course you all know my 20 years in the Canadian Football League with the Rough Riders. We have an idea how the game goes, and it was my contention that the Bombers lost it. I didn't look at the team stats in terms of yardage gain and so forth, but the Bombers were the better team in the game, don't you think?
Well, they were on offense for the most part. The numbers showed that, but you know what? Like I said, is Montreal's pass rush was pretty dominant last night, and people were saying, "Well, was it Winnipeg's O line that was lacking?" So, I mean, 6 of one, half dozen of the other here.
Yeah.
And so, they got to Collaros, which, really made a huge difference in that game. And then, missing 2 field goals. But at the end of the day, if a receiver misses a catch in the end zone, is that the same thing as a kicker missing a field goal? So, you know what?
Is it?
Yeah, I'm going to say it is.
It's a mistake.
Absolutely. It's... everybody's a given. They move the hash marks in, and they talk about how kickers are, this is going to be a better year for kickers. And I've seen from this year more missed kicks and game-deciding kicks this year. Look at Montreal-Toronto earlier this year. So it has really become a factor. So it's like I say, it's all part of the game. So missing a field goal is no different to me than a missed pass in the end zone.
Well, you got a mistake's a mistake, but the thing is, the kicker will always wear the goat horns because they're right there with the game on the line. We're all talking about Mark Leggio today, and I remember last year he was missing kicks then, and Bomber fans were upset about their kicker. They said, if we don't get our kicking situation figured out, we're not going to win the Grey Cup. Well, they never really got it figured out, and they still went on to win the Grey Cup. Here's a question for you Bomber fans. I'm speaking to you specifically, and if you're watching on Game Plus television out there in Winnipeg, which is carried on Bell MTS cable, you tell me. This would be a good poll question, actually. Would you rather win a Grey Cup this year or go 18-0? This isn't the poll question, but maybe if I put a little more thought into it, it should have been the poll question. I'll tell you what it is coming up because it's CFL related. And here's Sean Holm on YouTube, says, Bomber kicking game, lost the game again. Lee said it. We saw the Argos miss a game on a kick, the Owls miss a game on a kick, now the Bombers miss a game on a kick, and these narrower hash marks were supposed to make kicking easier. Maybe we need a kicking analyst, and maybe we could get Jeff Reinbold back on the air because he had to stop being our CFL analyst when he went to work in the MILF League, the Major League Football League, which is officially defunct. But the question for Bomber fans, would you rather go 18-0 or would you rather win a Grey Cup? You don't get a ring for going 18-0, but you would go down in history.
Yeah, well, I think they'd rather win another Grey Cup.
But the thing is, they've already got 2. So it reminds me of a sad time in my family's life when my dad passed away and we had his Stanley Cup ring and his Memorial Cup ring, and we were trying to decide which of his 3 sons it was going to go to. And my mom said, well, Roddy already has 2 Grey Cup rings. We're like, Mom, it doesn't work like that.
No.
It doesn't work like that. In the end, I never got the rings, but I digress. Would you rather go 18-0 or would you rather win a Grey Cup? All things being equal, the 1989 Edmonton Eskimos, which has come up quite a bit just this week. Oh, they're the best team in CFL history because they were 16-2, but they lost the West Final to the Saskatchewan Roughriders. So the answer would be yes, you'd rather win a Grey Cup, but they've already won their Grey Cup. So my saying right now is this Bomber team this year, Winnipeg, would you rather go 18-0 or would you rather win a Grey Cup? Because to be honest, now that I think about it, you made a good point. On offense, they were sound, but defensively, they didn't do much.
No.
Not their usual Winnipeg defense.
No, not there for sure. So, I mean, it exposed some weak links, and I think you want to see that. I mean, it's now the midpoint of the season, just past the midpoint of the season. I think you want to notice those, like I say, early on and make adjustments for any team, right? So, and I think it's CFL is in any given night, I think any team can beat another team in this league. So,
yeah, well, listen. Jeff, the Stamps fan, says, Rod, come on, what kind of poll question is that? The point is, follow with me. Jeff, the Stamps fan, it's like we operate on separate channels. I'm on channel 57, he's on channel 11, right? You're never going to hear what I'm saying, never. What I'm saying is you've already won the last 2 Grey Cups. So this 2022 Winnipeg season, you already got your rings. So would you rather go 18-0 this year or win a 3rd consecutive Grey Cup? It probably still sounds like an odd question, but I think it's reasonable. That's what sports talk is for. I've seen the debate. I heard this with going into the Canton, the Pro Football Hall of Fame a couple weeks ago. Somebody said, would you rather be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame or would you rather win a Super Bowl? You'd rather win the Super Bowl. But somebody actually said, I heard them say, I'd rather go in the Hall of Fame. And then you're remembered forever. I would always want to win the championship.
Always take the championship. Great individual achievements, but over a team, no. You always take a championship win.
We're going to move on. Arlen Bruce has chimed in, the great AB3, and he says, good morning, RP show. Is Orlando Steinauer on the hot seat for the 2022 season? That's my former 04 Grey Cup champion teammate from Arlen. We're getting our steps out of place, our steps. How can you tell I had a 12-step meeting this morning? No, we're getting our topics out of place, but that's okay, out of order. Let's say after tonight, let's answer that question, AB3. Because it's Orlando Steinauer's Hamilton Tiger Cats home to the Toronto Argonauts, and that is our poll question today. Who wins tonight in the Battle of Ontario? You can throw the logo up. There you go, guys. The Argos are now favored to win by 1.5. The line shifted ever since the Tiger Cats announced that Matthew Schultz will be the starting quarterback. I went in and read the pregame coverage of this. Dane Evans has gone to the 1-game injured list. He hasn't exactly been lighting the world on fire. The poll question is who wins tonight, Toronto or Hamilton? And the last I looked, over 70% on Twitter are saying the Argos will win. That would drop Hamilton to 2-7 if they did. But in Orlando's case, he'd have to fire himself. He's the GM now, too, is he not?
He
I think
is.
he is.
Yeah. That's going to have to come from God or Scott.
Or close. Scott Mitchell. Close.
Scott Mitchell.
What are you smiling about?
How about that?
I like to laugh every once in a while.
Yeah. By the way, it didn't pick up. CFL News didn't pick it up, or CFL headlines on Twitter. You want to pick it up now. Lee, this CFL icon, multiple. How many Grey Cups you got? 3?
3.
Yeah. Said not that he's hearing, but he predicts that this is Randy Ambrosie's last season as commissioner of the Canadian Football League. Put that on Twitter, folks. That's from Lee saying it on the RP show. I've bet him that it's not, and you're not standing down from that contention, are you?
No. I what I've seen over the last couple of years, and I've seen this year is pretty anemic coming out of the league office and Randy's leadership. So fantastic individual, but to move this league forward, they need better leadership and a better thought pattern on the business side moving forward.
Jennifer, what's coming out of the CFL office, I'm not impressed at all. And if that falls under him, which I guess it does, maybe a change is in order. But I'm not advocating for a change. I don't care as much as you. Nelson Hakowich, one of our viewers, says, we can all agree this is one of the most exciting CFL seasons in recent memory. Good play, close games, 23 or 36 or 63% of games decided inside 3 minutes. Are you sure which one? Yeah, they've been close game. That finish last night, I just thought was classic CFL.
Absolutely.
Unpredictable.
Absolutely was.
I don't know if it's a kicker's market now, or you might want to dust off the leg. It's funny because I had a guy write me last night, a junior hockey legend. He said, you might want to get your pads dusted off. Slovakia might need a goalie. 11-1 Canada last night over Slovakia. And I'm like, retired, and I left the building. Elvis left the building yesterday when Canada went up huge. But how many kickers? Is kicking like riding a bike that you could just come off the couch and...
No, well, clearly not. You've got all these kickers they're missing. So, maybe it's become more of a technical game, right?
John Massey, my frenemy here in Edmonton, says, Ambrosie is all rah-rah. No action. Put down the pom-poms, Randy. John Lynch would say he's a member of the Atana Club. All talk and no action. Atana Club. John Lynch.
How about that?
Yeah, sure he would.
Yes. John Frenzy is doing fine. Just so you know. So there's a lot of CFL talk off the top. And by the way, Eddie Steele coming up in the next segment. I think I got to check my phone. We're not as big official operation as TSN over here, who's got an army of people letting people in. Eddie, just parking and walking to the door.
He'll find his
Bon chance that Eddie Steele will be with us today. That's good
Beautiful.
luck in French, as you know.
Yes. Oui.
Hey. Text World Juniors now in all caps to 902-518-3033 to be entered to win a set of tickets to the World Juniors quarter, semi, or final tournament games. The number's on the screen. World Juniors right now. Text in. You want to go for free? You want to get in out of the heat? It is so cold in here. How cold is it, Rod? I saw a squirrel in here holding his nuts up against a heater.
I'm not going there.
Point two, Canada's World Junior Hockey team will have the day off before playing the Czech Republic Saturday in their preliminary round on Thursday. The Canadians defeated Slovakia 11-1 with the help of Mason McTavish's 4-goal, 2-assist effort. He was one of 9 players to have multi-point performances in a winning effort, including Connor Bedard. Canada now 2-0. They, again, will play the Czechs on Saturday. We'll be here. We've covered Friday Night Football. The 163rd running of the $1 million Queen's Plate is back Sunday, August 21st. The first jewel of the OLG Canadian Triple Crown of Thoroughbred Racing is North America's oldest continuously run stakes event, showcasing Canada's top 3-year-old thoroughbreds is the highlight of Woodbine's Queen's Plate. Purchase your tickets today. There's not many left.
There's not many left, so get out there.
Yeah, to enjoy all that Woodbine Racetrack has to offer during the Queen's Plate at woodbine.com. Eddie made it, everybody. Eddie's here. Get a new suit, Eddie? No, yeah, I think you should. Point 4, the Toronto Blue Jays will look to find the win column for the first time in 5 days when they kick off a 3-game series against the Cleveland Guardians tonight. Toronto lost 2 straight to Baltimore before the series finale was postponed on Wednesday due to rain. Jose Barrios will get the mound. Will get the start on the mound for the Jays tonight. Cal Quantrill will start for the Guardians. By the way, Edo Japan, let's get a word in with them. With more than 160 restaurants nationwide, Edo Japan is proud to be Canadian-owned and operated for more than 40 years. Last point, Lee, in the 2 minutes that we have left, NFL preseason Thursday. Baltimore beat Tennessee 23-10. I think it's the Ravens' 21st consecutive preseason victory.
Yeah,
you saw that?
I did see that, and I don't know if that means anything.
Probably not. But I would then bet on them in the preseason because you can bet on them at BetRegal. By the way, do us a favor and go sign up at BetRegal.ca.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do that today or over the weekend. BetRegal.ca and just sign up. You can play games for free. It's rather option right on there. Play Sportsbook. Use the promo code LEGENDS for a welcome bonus when you sign up. Would you do that for me? I don't ask you people for much. But please sign up at BetRegal.ca. They're our exclusive betting partner. And the Giants beat the Patriots 23-21. My question to you, in the now minute that we have left, is how much do you follow NFL preseason?
I'll pay attention to it a little bit, but once the season starts, I am laser focused.
So you only watch a little bit because why?
It doesn't really pique my interest. You got players, like I say, taking preseason off. I'm a big opening week fan, and from there I'm laser focused for the entire.
I follow a little bit to see who did what in the Cowboys games, but overall, not a lot. Okay, Eddie Steele in next. Lee, we'll see you a little later in the show.
I look forward to it.
It's the RP Show, a Flame Tech Football Friday. We'll be right back. You're watching on Game Plus Television, YouTube, live, and 24-hour sports radio streaming now at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
I gotta hit the beat. Gotta hit the beat. Gotta hit the
Download Dark Horse Bets today.
beat. I gotta hit the beat.
Easy snacking all around. Something everyone can love.
Lot of sun. Smoky in the air. That's a lot of pine. Big time. Big time. Big time.
And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital Ford Lincoln. We have a great selection of brand new F-150s in stock. Drive it off the lot today. Reserve an incoming unit or pre-order the perfect vehicle for you. And make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital Ford Lincoln, making back to busy easy.
The summer of hockey in Alberta continues, and the future of Team Canada is bright. The 2022 World Juniors return to Edmonton August 9th to 20th. Single game tickets available from $40. Buy now at hockeycanada.ca.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
The Venue at River Cree, bringing in the best in live entertainment. One of the world's most gifted and accomplished ventriloquists, Terry Fader brings his repertoire of comedy, music, and unique impersonations to the Venue at River Cree this September for one night only. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and
Look at that, a live look-in at a practice this morning here at Rogers Place. It's just a doubleheader today on day 4 of the World Juniors. Sweden versus Austria at 12 p.m. Mountain, followed by Latvia versus Slovakia at 4 p.m. Canada off, no night game, maybe a night to hit a movie or watch some CFL football. The great Eddie Steele joins us here at Rogers Place. I appreciate you getting in, Eddie.
It's awesome to be with you. I appreciate the opportunity, man. Always good to come and chat.
Course. You know this barn? You know your way around or what?
A little bit. I've been in here for a few games, but I know the barn up the street a little bit better.
Yes.
Commonwealth.
Well, we're going to jump right into it. Riders Elks.
That's why I'm here.
Why not, right?
That's why I'm here.
We got a lot to get to with our man Eddie Steele. Was it 9 seasons in the CFL, by the way?
Yes, sir.
9. Grey Cup champion. Hamilton, Sask, Edmonton. This is a big game. They're calling it must win for the Riders.
I would say it's must win for both, in all honesty. Especially you look at the standings and how the second half of the season lines up, especially for the Riders. It's a dangerous second half. And the Elks, they're in desperation mode too, because if they come out and they beat the Riders, well, they're a game back out of a potential playoff spot. And the Riders, they're staring down the pipe at, 3 against Winnipeg, 2 against Calgary, 2 against BC. So it's going to be a tough slugging.
Yeah, so what is your read on this Edmonton team? Because you're here, you obviously watch every game. They've been destroyed by BC twice. Were they as bad as the score indicated in both cases?
I mean, the score is the score for a reason. You can look for any type of loophole you want, but whenever a team can put up those types of points and move the ball somewhat effortlessly, it is what it is. I think it's a flat-out butt-whooping, and they've done it 2 times now in a row. So it's not just a coincidence that it happened once. They've done it. They've watched the tape, and they came out and did it again.
Are you seeing? And we've talked about this before, not in person, but I've had you on the show this season. Are you seeing a method to Jones' madness or not?
Yeah, I mean, you are absolutely seeing it, because if you look, history is proving itself all over again. You were there in Saskatchewan for his first year, and how similar does it look to what he's doing right now? They'll probably come out of the season with, somewhat similar wins, 5, 6, maybe 7 wins. Who knows about the playoff crossover because the East, but it's the same thing, rotating, shuffling guys, because he's trying to find those puzzles and fit those pieces in. And it doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. Saskatchewan wasn't good his first year there. They were a bottom feeder team. But the next year and the year after, and now look what they're still producing with a lot of key guys that he had brought in from those tough years. So it's working.
It's a proud CFL city. I've said that forever. And although I've had my battles with Calgary, we never, ever, ever, ever fought with Edmonton as a city or as a team. It's not that Calgary isn't class, but there's something about Edmonton. It's like they're above that petty stuff. But they don't like losing. Right, you know where I'm going.
Yeah, I do. I do.
And there's obviously a reason why you settled in Edmonton. It's a great place. But when you preach patience to people, how do they respond to that?
Well, it's tough because people are paying money, right? And when it's someone's money and their dollar out of their own pocket, they want to see you produce. But the reality is, rebuilds happen, and rarely does it happen here in Edmonton. The thing is, in Edmonton, been spoiled, very spoiled. You look back to the glory years. Now, with hockey, they have the best player in the world, two of the best players in the world, spoiled with talent, spoiled with championships. So they're not used to having those uncomfortable years. Right now, it's an uncomfortable year. We went through it in 2013 with Kavis Reed. It was an ugly year that year. Chris Jones came in 14, turned us around 15, won the Cup. And, you just got to last through those lean years and stay true to it.
Arlen Bruce watching out in Vancouver, AB3. He says, Mr. Eddie Steele, you have come a long way since I played with you in Hamilton. You are definitely Sportsnet or TSN ready, bro. You are Sportsnet talent now, right? That's still a thing?
Yeah, it's still a thing. Hopefully the opportunity's there again coming for this upcoming Grey Cup. But it was a lot of fun. And Arash Madani, he's a pro's pro.
What does he mean by you've come a long way? And I asked that because you and I got acquainted in 2017, your first season in Sask, and you've always been this guy, this smiling, classy, hardworking guy. Were you not always that?
You're young and dumb when you get into the league. Yeah, we're all been there, right? I was 21 years old, drafted out of college, had a really successful career in college, and I got drafted to Hamilton. My last name, for those who don't know it, Eddie Steele.
Perfect fit.
I thought I was going to take over the city. Steele coming to Steel Town. Not the case, however, but you realize quickly how to mature and how to grow up and how to survive 9 years. There's a reason the pro career average is only 3.5 years. A lot of guys, they don't do the right thing. They don't approach the game the right way. I feel like I did that, but I've matured along the way, made my mistakes, but here I am, like to consider myself somewhat successful.
I got the best of you. There's no doubt. And before we switch gears to the Sask thing, I got to ask you on the air. You got let go. He's got his Eskimos Grey Cup ring on, and you got let go by 630 Chad, their rights holder, for criticizing the coach and the GM. More so the GM, right? Brock Sunderland?
Yeah, the GM.
And then by, 5, 6, 7 weeks later, you were proven right because they were all fired. But I didn't see you get rehired by Ched.
Yeah,
sitting with you?
Honestly, I'm at peace with the whole situation. It ended up working out really well for me. And no negative feelings towards the guys I was working with Chad Morley and all those guys. Still have a good relationship with them all. But the reality is I said what I said. I felt very convicted in my heart about the truth. And lo and behold, it was the truth, and they go and they fired everybody. So to be honest, when they fired everybody, not look like that's what I wanted out of the situation. I just wanted attention brought to where there was some mishaps and all of it. And when they fired everybody, it was very vindicating because it was just proving everything that I said was right. So it was all good with Chad. I have a tough time seeing a big corporation doubling back, and I'm a small fish in a big pond, so I don't think that would ever happen, and it wasn't something that I ever expected to happen, but I'm at peace because it worked out.
And you can sleep at night knowing you were right.
You said it, not me.
Yeah, but then, so when the Sportsnet thing happened, I recall, because it was just last year, right, and you're going to Grey Cup to cover that, and so you did kind of fall forward, if that was a thing, right? So how much are you enjoying that?
Yeah, it was awesome. And to be honest, in terms of the media, because I'm doing a little bit of stuff with the riders now for their pregame, it's never something I've actively sought out, and that's what I think a lot of people, especially I get some flack on Twitter, they think that I'm some sort of media personality. I'm not. Like, people have asked me to come and do things, and if you're going to ask me to come and speak and say my word, I'll do it. But it's not
Be
like
careful what you ask.
Yeah, be careful,
Yeah.
and you'll get the truth of the matter, especially when it comes to CFL, because I've been there, done that. I think I have a little bit of knowledge with it. So yeah, that's kind of how it goes. It's not something that I'm actively seeking, but hey, I love it and I enjoy it.
So to the Riders, I didn't realize that you were doing the work with them. I haven't been following what's going on there, but what I am following is a 3-game losing streak, and I did see Milt Stegall say on TSN this week that the Riders are the most disappointing team so far in this season. There were a lot of people going into the year, football people, agents and so forth, that didn't expect much for them to begin with. So at 4-4 and in 4th place, it's not surprising a lot of people. It's surprising a lot of their fans, though. What's your read on Sask?
You know, it's they are where their record says they should be, you know, in all honesty. Don't want to be that guy who's having to double back a few weeks ago, but they haven't won since the dark cloud of the Marino incident. And they've gone through a lot of adversity in terms of Cody, his injury, the offensive line, Dan Clark, which I heard, is he practicing? I heard he's practicing again, which is nuts coming off the injury he had. Lots of adversity, but you know, they are right where they should be. I think there's been some discipline issues, and they have a tough end of the schedule, like I said, and they got to pull out dubs when they can, especially against a team who's perceived weaker with the Elks. So this is a huge matchup this week.
Who do you think's going to win?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Chris Jones and the Elks, to be honest. Yeah, I think they're he knows how to watch tape, and especially with quarterbacks, he knows how to really isolate on guys. I've been in those meetings with him, and he's going to have a plan for Cody, especially since Cody is somewhat limited with his running ability. So I'm going to go with the Elks, and I think they're going to come out aggressive, and they need this win at home. They haven't won at home in 3 years.
Oh, Riders favored by 6, but I'm kind of feeling what you're saying. There's the pressure on the Riders, but that home losing streak here for the Elks is 11 games. They haven't won at home since they changed their team name. What's the locker room mindset of the Elks wanting to end this? They're going to be fuming.
Oh, you got to be. But the funny thing is, with the amount of roster turnover, there's so many guys who probably are so aloof to the fact that they haven't won in 3 years.
They weren't even around, yeah.
Exactly. You know, it's brought up and it's spoken about, but it's not like they're there and they've been in those trenches. But, man, they need to win just for the fans. Forget the locker room. The fans and the people of Edmonton are starving for a home win. I know it firsthand.
Rich Robertson, watching on YouTube, says Brock Sunderland ruined the franchise. It will take years to rebuild. This is 100% in Oilers town now. Well, there you go. That's how they feel. I'm hearing a lot of that. Now, I saw you openly call out the owner of the Alouettes, Gary Stern, the other day for firing Kahari Jones. I didn't see that you got a response.
No, didn't get a response, and it wasn't even so much a call out. I just wanted to, because he responds to everybody, most people that I see, you know, and I just, wanted the truth of what's going on. Like, and it's not like he owes me the truth or anything, but, he's pretty liberal out there, so I figured I would ask the question because, it was alluded to in the press conference, and we all know the discipline issues. It's been a dead horse that's been beaten over, but that was the big reason. And I want to know what the reason for the coaching change was. Now, look, they just beat Winnipeg last night, so hey, maybe there's the reason. Maybe they're a better team for it.
Maybe knows more than we do.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you know what the reason is. Danny Matocha wanted the job, but I'll tell you what, the Kahari's another guy who. He's not a guy that called me, but I have a lot of people calling me saying, Rod, I got fired. I didn't do anything wrong. And I'm like, well, I know the feeling. You know the feeling. I don't know what to tell you. And Kahari will land on his feet other than to say that everything happens for a reason. By the way, we have questions now coming in for Eddie, which doesn't surprise me. Arlen Bruce with one. He says, elephant in the room. Why isn't Deron Carter playing wide receiver or slot back? That's crazy. His dad must be going nuts.
From being a teammate of his, we all know freak athlete, right? He's a freak athlete. He can do it all. And Probably what did him in at the receiver position was infamous game back in 2017 was it, with an infamous call by someone here who told someone to shut up, and I think what did Duran in was he had an impact in his limited time at DB, so I think that made a lot of people, Chris Jones, believe that he is a good defensive back, which he can be a good defensive back just solely off his athleticism. So, what did him in, I think, at the receiver position is he did so good at DB and he made so many splash plays.
Victim
and that's it.
of his own success,
Exactly.
really, in a way. But Chris Jones wouldn't have him there if he didn't think he was better there than at receiver. That's why. But when they played BC the other night, I was going back and forth between the Blue Jays game and the Lions and Elks, and every time I went back to the CFL game, Duran was getting run ragged and he couldn't cover his guy. Like, it just looked like they were picking on him.
Yeah, it was noticeable. Like, you could definitely see it. There was some issues out there. So, see if they get that ironed out or what's going to be the case. Who knows?
Well, he'll be at safety tomorrow. Are you able to stick around for one more segment?
Yeah, I'm good.
Eddie Steele with us, Grey Cup champion. We're live from Rogers Place. On the way, the voice of the Oilers, Cam Moon, and the general manager of the Oil Kings, Kirt Hill. You're watching on the Game Plus television network. We're also live streaming on YouTube and 24-hour sports radio, streaming now at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital Ford Lincoln. We have a great selection of brand new F-150s in stock. Drive it off the lot today. Reserve an incoming unit or pre-order the perfect vehicle for you. And make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital Ford Lincoln, making back to busy easy.
The summer of hockey in Alberta continues, and the future of Team Canada is bright. The 2022 World Juniors return to Edmonton August 9th to 20th. Single game tickets available from $40. Buy now at hockeycanada.ca.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Mornings just got better at River Cree. For a limited time, enjoy a summer sunrise breakfast for just $1.99. Choose from 2 eggs any style, a breakfast sandwich, or pancakes. Finally, a delicious reason to wake up early. $1.99 breakfast daily at Tap 25 at the River Cree.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
Flame Tech Football Friday continues live from Rogers Place, but the World Juniors are going on here, and I have to tell you a sports update before we rejoin with Eddie Steele. Carter Mazer scored twice in the USA 5-goal second period, and the defending champion Americans beat Switzerland 7-1 Thursday night to improve to 2-0 here at the World Juniors. Our guy, Landon Slaggert, who sat in Eddie's chair yesterday, popped one home for the States last night. It was a good game. Canada had 4 goals and a pair of assists from Captain Mason McTavish in an 11-1 rout of Slovakia at the World Juniors. They'll play the Czechs on Saturday. And in the early game, Finland beat Czechia 4-3 in a shootout. It's the first and only game to go to extra time here at the World Jays. And baseball, Drew Smiley struck out 9 in 5 scoreless innings, and the Chicago Cubs beat the Cincinnati Reds 4-2 in Major League Baseball's second Field of Dreams game. Seiya Suzuki reached home 3 times, and Nick Madrigal had 3 hits for the Cubs. The night began with Ken Griffey Jr. and his father emerging from the iconic cornstalks to play catch in the outfield to the delight of the sellout crowd of 7,823. The sports update for Edo Japan. With more than 160 restaurants nationwide, Edo Japan is proud to be Canadian-owned and operated for more than 40 years. And for River Cree, they bring you the best in live entertainment. September 9th, Tim Hicks brings his 0 to 60 tour 2022 to River Cree, delivering track after track with unparalleled quality and consistency. Tim Hicks' ascent as an elite chart-topping act since making his country label debut in 2013 is undeniable. See you there at River Cree. That's a perfect segue with Eddie. The viewers are writing in saying, Eddie, you look fresh, you look GQ. You said River Cree has been very, very good to you. Yeah, tell our viewers what you're doing now post-career. Post-football.
Yeah, post-football career, my new life. I'm in sales for a chemical maintenance company, so do a lot of traveling, put a lot of kilometers on. I tell people my office is 4 tires and a steering wheel. I just got a new car 2 months ago to the day, Rod, and I was getting some work done to it this morning, just a little routine service, because normally you get this service check in 6 months down the road, but I put on 9,000 kilometers already in the first 2 months, so yeah, I'm pounding the pavement, but it's been great, building a lot of good relationships. I do a lot of work with arenas, rec centers, public works, counties, municipalities, hospitals. So a lot of traveling, but a lot of relationships, and life's been great.
It seems to be working for you. And I don't want to say other than you said the stressful life of football. You don't realize it until you aren't in it.
Yeah, you don't. The eggshells that the constant pressure, the pressure if you have a bad game or if you have a couple missteps and you're not doing the right thing in practice, the fact that you could come into your locker room the next day and see someone new, or you could see 3 new faces there to try and replace you. So yeah, it's a nice feeling, and it's a nice peace of mind to be in a state where you're not constantly having to worry about your job security, what's going to happen in the off season, how many game checks am I going to save, because you're trying to calculate when the checks stop coming in the off season, because the money doesn't keep coming. People don't realize that once the games are done, no more pay. So you got to budget, and a lot of guys don't budget properly. So it's nice. I'm in a very nice place in life, and a lot of peace, and family's healthy, young kids are healthy and progressing. So yeah, I'm very fortunate.
That's all you can ask.
Yeah.
Where is it? In Red Deer. I'm sorry. Oh, BW in Edmonton says Brock didn't ruin the Edmonton Elks. It started with Danny Machocha years ago. But they did sandwich that Grey Cup championship in the middle of it, right?
Yeah, we won a Grey Cup. I mean, you can't say anybody. How can you say someone ruined a franchise a decade plus ago? I know they got rid of Ricky Ray, and I can appreciate that. And he went on to Toronto and did great things. I totally can appreciate that. But ruining a franchise would mean they're still in disarray and turmoil. But we won a Grey Cup, and we had a couple of really successful years. Mike Riley had some tremendous years as a quarterback here and a lot of winning, even after I moved on to the Riders. So you can't say they ruined the franchise. Brock Sunderland, yeah, he sunk the ship nearly. I wouldn't say it was completely flooded, but it wasn't good. But they're doing the right things and they have the right people. You just got to be patient, and it's gonna happen. And a lot of people are questioning Chris Jones, and I'm not up here being his advocate or anything, but the guy, he's proven. And you just got to trust in what he's done. I've been there. I've done it with him. I've won, and he's proven. And this mold that he's doing is exactly like what he's done in Edmonton and Saskatchewan, and he's won there.
Well, and speaking of, my cousin Christine in Medicine Hat writes in and says, Rogers Place looks awesome on the outside. It absolutely does, and it looks awesome on the inside. So I just thought I'd pass that along. Jack Fulton in Alberta, Vulcan, Alberta, says, Eddie nailed it. That's why I started Life Choice Dynamics 15 years ago. He helps players post-career with the money saving and planning. William Degenstein on YouTube says, Chris Jones is the worst coach. There's a lot of people that you're never going to convince otherwise, and I respect that. Yeah, I was speaking at a banquet in Paradise Hill, Saskatchewan. I can't remember when, 5 years ago or something, with Daryl Sutter, Brian Sutter, Buddy Bensmiller, Rachel Homan. And I sat at a table. You know how they bid to have you sit with them?
Yep.
And this lady, she was older, man. She's 75. And I brought up Chris Jones. And she's like, I hate Chris Jones. He got rid of my West End wrestler, and I'll never forgive him for that. And I'm like, you should get over it, but I'm not going to tell you to get over it.
Yeah.
People sometimes they don't forget that stuff.
Yeah, and I get the, allure, again, with fans, because you're paying your money. You're paying money to see them play and perform, and you're paying money for the jersey and the merchandise. But it's a business, just like anything else. And I don't care who we are and what walk of life, we all have a shelf life. And depending on what industry you're in, we have a shelf life, and it might come sooner than others. And that's the reality with football, and it is a business. It's the biggest meat market you could imagine. And people don't see the behind-the-scenes things, but you're just a number. And the minute you sign that contract, they're looking to replace you. They're looking to go younger and cheaper. So that's just the reality of football, and it's not going to stop.
No,
it's not going to stop.
Lastly, before I let you go, you mentioned Mike Riley. I saw a comment the other day. Somebody said the caliber of quarterback play isn't where it was. And I remember that Young Guns. Wasn't that long ago we were talking about the Young Guns, and they were Zach Caleros and Bo Levi and Mike Riley. Now are we seeing, what do you feel about the quarterback play? I would have put Cody Fajardo into that echelon, but he hasn't won yet. All those guys get Grey Cups.
Mm-hmm.
Cody does not. You were one of the first guys, you were one of the very first guys to say this guy isn't all that.
Yeah.
You still feel that way?
You know what? I do still feel... Yeah, for the most part. I mean, just because it's kind of playing out how I anticipated. Now, look, Cody's hurt, and we know that. But the only thing with it is, like other people have said, and I've said this from the jump, he had a great year a few years ago. He was kind of came out of nowhere, right? He had been a third stringer. Game tape, and people who were able to study him kind of regressed a bit last year. And now this year, I would say he's playing at the same level or less than he was at last year. He's hurt, though. The team, banged up injuries on the O-line, but everybody's dealing with that. So you can't make specific excuses. It's tough. He's going to slug it out, and I understand why people in Saskatchewan love him. I get the heart. I get the leadership that he brings in terms of his communication with guys on the sideline and stuff, but kind of in a state right now, it's just I got to see it to believe it. You know what I mean? And that's where we're at. I just got to see it, and I only can go off what I've seen.
Wonderful point. Darian Durant got everybody off his back once he won, and Fajardo will do the same thing, but he's got to win. So, Eddie, always good, man.
Awesome.
Appreciate you coming down.
Appreciate it.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
And we'll be back with Viewer Takeover right after this. Next hour, the voice of the Oilers, Cam Moon. But he's a huge Elks fan, too, so we'll have a lot of CFL talk with him. And Kirt Hill, the general manager of the Edmonton Oil Kings. We'll be right back to Rogers Place after this break on Game Plus Television, YouTube Live. You can always catch the podcast wherever the best podcasts are found, including Amazon, Google, Apple, Stitcher, and Spotify.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at ddgregina.com.
The summer of hockey in Alberta continues, and the future of Team Canada is bright. The 2022 World Juniors return to Edmonton August 9th to 20th. Single game tickets available from $40. Buy now at hockeycanada.ca.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Roughriders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
The venue at River Cree, bringing you the best in live entertainment. One of the world's most gifted and accomplished ventriloquists, Terry Fader brings his repertoire of comedy, music, and unique impersonations to the venue at River Cree this September for one night only. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
I gotta hit the beat. I gotta hit the beat. Gotta hit the
Download Dark Horse Bets today.
I gotta hit the beat.
Easy snacking all around. Something everyone can love.
And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital GMC. Reserve your brand new truck or SUV today. Check out our great selection of in-stock GM certified pre-owned trucks and make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital GMC, making back to busy easy.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
Live from Rogers Place, the RP show continues on this Flame Tech Football Friday, and I will forewarn you, I want to say that we're going to switch a lot of gears over to hockey in the hour two, but we may not. For sure we will off the top of the hour. Kirt Hill will be with us, the general manager of the Edmonton Oil Kings, but also Cam Moon's going to drop by, the voice of the Oilers, and I know he's going to just want to talk about the Edmonton Sask CFL game. That is a fact. I ran into him at a World Juniors game here the other day. I'm like, we got to get Cam on the air. I don't think we ever have. So I'm looking forward to that. But we call this Viewer Takeover. And so let's open up the text line now. 902-518-3033 to reach us right here on set at the World Juniors. And I'll take this opportunity right now to thank Sportsnet again and Gene Principe for so graciously allowing us to use their spot here for 2 full weeks at the World Jays. Ward in Winnipeg writes in and says, good morning, Rod and gang. Congratulations to Andre Proulx for calling his 400th game, but he was the most hated man last night at Investors Group Field on that offside call by a big toe on that goal line stop. Instead of going for a game-winning field goal, the Bombers could have punted for a single through the end zone. What do you think? Have a great weekend. Ward in the Peg. Well, I'm not going to get into game management here at all. I know the play that you're talking about, and I just hate the officiating discussion. You know that, Wilf, or Ward, you watch it every day. Wilf in Steinbach, Manitoba is watching on Game Plus. He writes in and he says, it won't be the only loss for the Bombers. Squeaked a few of the 9 wins by luck as it is, but sometimes you make your own luck. Go figure. Everything happens for a reason, and so the Blue Bombers aren't going 18-0. You got to face some adversity along the way. I think it would have been cool for them to go to 18-0, but if it means that they'll win a 3rd consecutive Grey Cup, obviously you'd rather have that. Craig in Calgary writes in, he says, 18-0 has never been done. That cements legendary status. If it would have happened this year, they would have put the team into the greatest of all time talk. That's from Craig in Calgary. So you see what I'm saying, Jeff the Stamps fan? Craig gets it. What I'm saying is, if you have an opportunity to go 18-0 and you're the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, but you know you won't win the Grey Cup, which would you take? Knowing that you've won the last 2. Craig just said it. They will always remember, would have remembered the 18-0 Winnipeg Blue Bombers of 2022. You're going into the pantheon of greatest CFL teams ever. What do you remember about the 2019 Winnipeg Blue Bombers if you're not a Bomber fan? The Bomber fans will remember that forever. Stravler, Andrew Harris winning MVP and most outstanding Canadian in the Grey Cup game. Yeah, you all remember that. But to go 18-0 and cement yourself as the greatest regular season team ever, I could see why that might be something you'd be interested in. But Jeff the Stamps fan doesn't understand that. Dougal Cameron in Calgary writes in and he says, please, please, please let this be Ambrosie's last season. Enough is enough. Again, the CFL will decide whether that happens or not us. Phil is watching in Dauphin, Manitoba, and he says, good day, good day. To quote my favorite movie, Moneyball, if we don't win the last game of the series, they'll dismiss us. 9-1 is still great. Best start in such a long time. They now have 2 weeks to work through it, and hopefully will come out swinging even harder. Go Bombers! We also have people texting in the World Juniors contest, guys and gals, so we will be awarding tickets after today's show to the quarterfinals and the medal games at the World Jays here, so that's exciting. Brady in Saskatchewan writes in, he says, hey Rod, I would pick the Grey Cup. It's a piece of cemented, rich history that is won as a team and through very difficult games in the trenches. If you were to go 18-0 without winning the Grey Cup, you'd be known as the only undefeated team who couldn't finish in the playoffs when it mattered the most. Lee and I think we'll kick that around a little later, a little more. I just think it's worthy of discussion. People say it's a dumb question. It's clearly not a dumb question. But for now, it's the 16-2 Edmonton Eskimos of 1989. And you can look at it, last minute of play in hour 1, last minute of play. You can look at it one of 2 ways. They're the greatest regular season team of all time, the 16-2 Edmonton Eskimos. You can hang your hat on that. Or you can say, but they choked in the West Final. They're the biggest chokers in CFL history. So if you go 18-0 and don't win a Grey Cup, is that something to be scoffed at? I don't think so, but you don't get a ring for that. Nelson Hackowitz says, imagine a Riders Bombers Grey Cup in Saskatchewan. What a party. From Ryan in Toronto says, why do I find Zambonis so soothing? Very good question, so do I. Maybe the only thing better is listening to a morning skate and the skates cutting the ice and the pucks off the glass. I love it. Kirt Hill next hour, Cam Moon, and more. It's a Flame Tech Football Friday live from Rogers Place. We'll be right back after this timeout on Game Plus TV.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital GMC. Reserve your brand new truck or SUV today. Check out our great selection of in-stock GM certified pre-owned trucks and make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any maker model. Capital GMC, making back to busy easy.
Mornings just got better at River Cree. For a limited time, enjoy a summer sunrise breakfast for just $1.99. Choose from 2 eggs any style, a breakfast sandwich, or pancakes. Finally, a delicious reason to wake up early. $1.99 breakfast daily at Tap 25 at the River Cree.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games.
Play among legends at betregal.net.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
The summer of hockey in Alberta continues, and the future of Team Canada is bright. The 2022 World Juniors return to Edmonton August 9th to 20th. Single game tickets available from $40. Buy now at hockeycanada.ca.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersenshop.com.
Breaking news, by the way, from the NHL. Robin Lehner will miss the entire upcoming season after it was determined he will require hip surgery. How do you see the Pacific Division shaking out next year, given the way it unfolded last year?
Well, it just changed a little bit right now. When Robin played the Oilers, for example, and a chance to see him up close and personal, I thought he played quite well. Right now, I think the 2 Alberta teams are probably going to lead the way in the Pacific.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
It absolutely is. Good morning, Western Canada. Good afternoon to our friends in the Eastern Time Zone, Canada and the USA. Welcome to the RP Show. It's hour 2. It's been a lot of what we normally do, a Flame Tech Football Friday. Flame Tech is your industry leader in combustion services, but we're going to switch it around to hockey in hour 2. We'll morph in a little football, but some of my oldest friends are here. That's not to say you, Kirt Hill, are old. But I've known you a long time. The general manager of the Western Hockey League champion Edmonton Oil Kings joins us here at Rogers Place. You're home. Thanks for making us so at home here, Hilly. Good to see you, man.
That's been a while.
Yes, it has been. Since you walked out of the dressing room in 2008 with the Regina Pats is the last time I've even laid eyes on you. Been quite a ride.
It's been a ride, yeah. I've been lived in a few different cities since those times, but some of my fond memories playing for Regina.
General manager, I'll say it again, of the Western Hockey League champion Edmonton Oil Kings. And I appreciate your radio guy, small world, Andrew Purd, lining this interview up, and for the hockey fans, because I'm going to tell you something, we have had the most wonderful reaction from our viewers all across the country this week saying the World Juniors coverage has been amazing, and we're going to continue that rolling. But I want to tell a little bit of Kirt's story, too, in the 50 minutes that we have, and then next segment, the voice of the Oilers. Cam Moon's going to be with us right here in that chair, but he's a huge Edmonton Eskimo/Elks fan. So don't hold that against him, but we're going to be teeing up Saturday's game. But you're a Winnipeg guy, Hilly, and you broke in with the Kelowna Rockets. You played 2.5 seasons there, and then we got you in Regina for 2 seasons, and you put a banner up in 2008. That was a good year. Remember that?
Good year.
Some good guys on that team. Let's just start there, if you don't mind. Then we'll get into the World Junior stuff. Again, I hadn't heard your name since your last day as a Pat. Next thing you know, Peter Chiarelli's handing you a jersey as the general manager of the Oil Kings, and we're all like, "What? Where'd you been? How'd this happen?" And then you go and win league championships. So, fill in the gap there.
Well, after Regina, I ended up getting, I got released from the Pats that year, played a year down in Lincoln in the USHL, and ended up getting recruited by Canadian universities and used my WHL scholarship package to head out to Waterloo and get a degree in sport business for 4 years. And I think where the real connection with becoming a GM in the Western League came was I ended up getting a job at the WHL head office and running their player development, player recruitment. So I did that for 5 years and had a quick stopgap with Chicago scouting. And I think I just, created a lot of relationships in the West when I was working at the WHL, and was fortunate enough to get an interview. And I guess Peter Chiarelli thought I was the right guy for the job at the time.
Yeah, well, and now that I say that, I had laid eyes on you since you left Regina. It was a quick brush in the press box, I think, in Regina.
Yes.
It was a playoff game or something like that. But you didn't change a whole lot. I said because a lot of those Oil King scouts are friends of mine, and they've been with the team for a very long time. You didn't change a whole lot, but what did you change was you come in as a young general manager. Couldn't have been easy. You made changes, and it paid off.
I think early it was, I had to evaluate everything from top down, and at the time, I think it was, the coaching staff that was here at the time, they were good coaches, but I think the guys just needed a new voice. And I think one of the best moves that I've made since I've been in the role was bringing in Brad Lauer and Luke Pierce at the time. And Brad, with his experience in the NHL 11 years, it's not often you get a guy that's coming
as
back
a coach
to come back and be a head coach in junior. And he did a fantastic job out here over the 4 years, winning the Central Division year one and getting into the third round to winning it 4 years in a row and winning a WHL championship. So all the credit to, all the coaches and support staff that we brought in here. They were awesome.
Well, let's talk about Lau for a second. Pride of Humboldt, Saskatchewan, along with Jared Bednar, and Brad follows very closely what we're doing here. Just a champion from the word go, but a very unassuming, quiet guy. Like, what was it about him, or at least from what I've seen? What's he like in the room?
Yeah, I would say his demeanor's a little bit quieter.
Yeah.
He's a guy that has a big presence to him with the players, especially, and a guy who played at the next levels, coached at the next level. So I think he's got that respect from them of, when he's telling them what it's going to take to make it. That really resonates with them. But from that standpoint, when I was going through that hiring process, he had daughters that were at the time about 13 and 15 years old. So he really kind of understood, I think, that teenage years and what he was going through at home, and I really thought that was going to play benefit to him when he started working with our younger players, and it seemed to have worked.
Well, coming off a championship, and it seems like Brad wants to be here for a long time, and I want to talk about that. You guys finally, at the Memorial Cup this year in St. John, finally got the win to break that WHL rep streak, and I don't know why we had such a tough time winning there, but you didn't make it to the playoffs. What happened at the Memorial Cup in your mind?
Oh, it was so close, those games. I think it was just everyone came down to kind of a little bit of puck luck here and there, a little bit of bad timing on some penalties. But at the end of the day, I think our group was losing Dylan Gunther. I think affected our power play significantly there. I didn't feel it ever really got back into the rhythm that we had it really clicking at. And when you lose obviously a player of that caliber, it's tough to get it back there. But one of the things I thought too was that final against Seattle was it was a brawl.
Yeah.
It was a dogfight. And when we got to the Memorial Cup, I thought our guys had a real tough time bringing their emotion level back to what the standard was going to be there with the officiating, and we did take some undisciplined penalties there, which ultimately hurt us in a couple of those games.
The exact same thing happened to the Regina Pats in 2017. They went to the league final against Seattle. who plays as, at the time, I was just coming out of football, and the hockey guys were saying to me, Seattle plays a heavy game. Pats won't be able to stand up to that. I said, what does that even mean? Oh, I found out. And then Seattle won the series. They went to the Memorial Cup, and it was doesn't matter. It was down east in I think Shawinigan. And Seattle never won a game. But anyways, back to your team. And before we get to the World Juniors here, of course, you got your goalie here, Sebastian Casa, but you got other guys that aren't playing. Talk about that. They made a decision that they weren't going to play for Canada.
Yeah, I think, those 4 guys, it's a lot of it was wear and tear. And Gunther was hurt, Jake was hurt, sort of hurt. Gooley, lots of wear and tear. Just he got a bad injury at one point in the season as well. So I think for those guys, a lot of it came down to an opportunity to train and rest and get healthy. They're all going to have a pretty good opportunity to potentially make their big clubs this year. So for them, I think it was more of a long-term decision to put it on hold and get ready for NHL training camp.
Well, one of those people, and he's probably watching right now down in Lethbridge, that's loved our shows this week because he told me, he's Perry Shockey, former coach of the Hurricanes, Pats, Warriors, scout for the LA Kings forever. He went and saw you guys play. You played, did you play Lethbridge in round 1 this year?
Yes.
He goes, they got 5 NHL players on their roster. He goes, the Oil Kings aren't going to be touched. And when I look at your time here, your 5 years spans a junior hockey cycle. Like, these are guys that came in under your watch, right? So you got a pretty good scouting staff.
Scouting staff's fantastic.
Yeah.
And some of the guys that were brought in as, Randy Hanch was here at the time as a GM who is an NHL scout as well, and he's got a great scouting background. And, they made a lot of great selections, and, our scouting staff as a whole, just bringing in unlisted players and the trades that we made. A very veteran staff that has won championships in the past too. Edmonton's had a long run of in the Bob Green era as well of building championship teams, and I think they really understand the cyclical approach, and the fun starts now. We get to do it again.
Yeah. Well, what's the prospects for next year?
Well, we're going to lose a lot of guys, 9 to 10 players probably from our roster. So it's going to be about giving young guys opportunity, and we kind of planned for it. We had 4 16-year-olds on our team last year. So for a team that goes to the Memorial Cup, we had 4 16-year-olds dressed in some of those games. So, I think some of that turnover will help. And we traded a 20-year-old player this week to Tri-Cities for some younger guys that I think are going to be significant pieces to us in the future.
Well, again, Kirt Hill with us, the general manager of the Edmonton Oil Kings. The last time I saw him, he was a boy. He's come back a man and done wonderful things with the Oil Kings. Now, are you able to sit back as a fan of Canadian hockey and watch the World Juniors, or do you have to have a bit of an analytical GM hat on?
Well, I think it's been nice here, especially, getting to watch Sebastian get a second go at this. I think the first time through, he kind of got... became the third goalie in camp, so he's here. He's getting opportunity for starts, so that's great for him. And Jakob Demek and Luka Hoff, our other import player, both playing in the tournament as well. So a chance to watch them as import players for us and evaluate how our new guy's going to fit in.
Well, be a fan for a second and tell me the difference in your mind from Canada's opening game, a 5-2 win over Latvia, to Thursday's game, the 11-1 win over Slovakia. What changed?
Well,
something changed.
I think a little bit. They played with way more pressure. I think especially early on they were aggressive on pucks, and I thought Latvia was hanging on, playing a little bit more defensive, and I don't know, Slovakia seemed like they wanted to try to run and gun with them, and they were pretty loose defensively, and I don't think that's the team you want to play against with a pretty loose defensive system. So, but Canada they were ready for that match. You could see right from puck drop, and their aggressive play really got them a lot of opportunities.
So yeah, again, my brother said after the first game, Canada didn't look too dominant, and I'm like, they weren't trying. They looked like they were yesterday. And then what about the game against the Czechs on Saturday? How do you think that'll go?
Yeah, I think Czech, predominantly strong country, obviously in hockey, so I think they're going to be ready for that as well. And obviously the Czechs know what they're up against now, seeing what they did to Slovakia, so they're going to be twofold ready as well.
When this thing's done, what do you think will be the bigger story, Mason McTavish or Connor Bedard? What McTavish did yesterday was astounding.
Well, it's pretty tough to top what Connor Bedard's doing at the age at the end of the day, but
yeah,
pretty astonishing for McTavish, though, considering he played 10 months and was in the Memorial Cup a month later. He's doing pretty amazing things here, so he's found a way to have a pretty quick off-season turnaround, and again, he's got a pretty promising future ahead of him.
I saw Canada's coach, Dave Cameron, come out after the game last night and say Mason McTavish is an NHL player, and I thought, for sure, look at him. But I think Connor Bedard, he played in the dub at 15, Hilly. So I think he could play in the NHL now. He's got 1 year left in junior, but I think after what we've seen, your thoughts on his physical abilities, not just the skill, but
he's gotten stronger. You can clearly see that since he entered the league, and with strengths comes more speed and more agility, and his game's just risen to another level. Even from watching him play against us this season, and that was a pretty tough task for him going against our D-core and the team that we had out there on the ice, and it seemed like every time we played him, we still walked out with him having 2 goals on the board. So
it's funny to say that because people are seeing him now live in Edmonton for the first time, and people are saying the same things they said when they saw him for the first time with the World Under-18s. They're saying, well, he's not McDavid. And we're like, we never said he was, right? He's just a different player. What do you think is the secret to his – he doesn't have the blazing speed of a McDavid. What is the secret to Connor Bedard's success?
Well, I think he's got a significant IQ, and his shot is pretty elite. Like, at the end of the day, he can shoot from anywhere, and he's a threat every time he's releasing the puck. He has the ability to change the angle, and obviously the force that he gets behind it's pretty amazing. But his IQ and his ability to play with his line mates and be a player, like, I don't think sometimes with McDavid, I think it's that he wants to play with his line mates, but he's just so fast. You need the guys to keep up with him, which is hard. But Bedard, he does a great job at using his line mates as well. So his IQ's off the charts.
I hope as this tournament goes along, we still got 10 days almost, that the crowds get bigger and people get in here to watch Bedard. They are getting a little bigger as we go, and I'm seeing fans of all NHL teams here. The Oilers aren't going to have a shot at him, but Habs fans think they might. Do you think he could change an NHL team's fortunes?
Oh, you got to think so. If he's, if they develop, he's going to play right away. So he's going to have some guys to play with when he gets there. I think it's tough for any player to go and just be the guy right away unless you're insulated by some good people. So I think that's going to be the thing that the team's going to have to do to get him, obviously, when he starts, to give him an opportunity to have confidence and have success early with the club.
Who do you think, last one on the World Juniors, will give Canada its biggest obstacle to winning gold, whether it's somebody from their own pool or the other pool here before it's over?
Yeah, just from me watching the tournament so far, the Americans it's going to be the obstacle. They play with a ton of pace. They're fast. They're not as big as the Canadians, but they play with a high tempo, and they're a group. They play together. They know each other. They've had the time together for a long time. So they're going to be a challenge. But Canada's got a little bit. They got the more size. If they play the right way, play that team game, I think they'll be fine.
What an interesting dichotomy too. They have the motivation. The USA. We had Landon Slaggert sitting here yesterday, and he just smiled. Nobody's counting them. Nobody's picking them as a winner. They're in here as the enemy. There's zero pressure on them, Hilly. Whereas Canada, the pressure is immense. I heard it before the tournament. Can you imagine playing under that?
I think they play under it every tournament now, right?
Yeah,
no matter
exactly
what it is. But the Americans there, it's amazing. Everybody knows their hockey's just developed so much over the last 15 to 20 years, and that's the one thing I see. This specific American team, the speed and tempo they can play with is extremely impressive.
Well, maybe one of these years they won't fly under the radar, but for sure now they are. And I just got to ask you one last question before you go. When did you know that your Oil Kings team was special this year at a potential champion? If I may, I did a Winnipeg ice game in Red Deer. They lost. The ice ended their long win streak, and then they came up here and you guys beat them. It was a long weekend. Monday, I think you played them.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, Edmonton must be really good because Winnipeg's very good. When did you realize that you had a championship caliber team?
Well, honestly, through the bubble season, the year before, we knew we had a pretty good group, and it was probably early on in the season when we were able to make the Pro Cop deal and the Gooley deal that it all kind of came together. We knew our D core was a weak group. The forward group, we had a lot of depth there, and we just had to add some, pieces. And the Surtiff was a big move at the deadline to get him in here. But I would feel like right around end of October, early November, once we got Pro Cop, I was getting close on Gooley. I'm like, if we can get Gooley, we're going to be extremely tough to beat.
Well, you finished it off. Congratulations on that. Super proud of you, Hilly. Good to see you. Thanks for coming on. Yeah, Kirt Hill, the general manager of the Edmonton Oil Kings. When we come back, the voice of the Oilers, Cam Moon, will join us. We'll be talking NHL and CFL. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus Television Network. It's available all across Alberta, NBC on TELUS Optic Cable, in Saskatchewan on SaskTel Max, and, of course, Manitoba on Bell MTS Cable. We're also streaming sports radio 24 hours, streaming now at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Mornings just got better at River Cree. For a limited time, enjoy a summer sunrise breakfast for just $1.99. Choose from 2 eggs any style, a breakfast sandwich, or pancakes. Finally, a delicious reason to wake up early. $1.99 breakfast daily at Tap 25 at the River Cree.
And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital GMC. Reserve your brand new truck or SUV today. Check out our great selection of in-stock GM certified pre-owned trucks. And make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital GMC, making back to busy easy.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of fun. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
The summer of hockey in Alberta continues, and the future of Team Canada is bright. The 2022 World Juniors return to Edmonton August 9th to 20th. Single game tickets available from $40. Buy now at hockeycanada.ca.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Download Dark Horse Bets today.
I gotta hit the beat.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG. Always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at ddgregina.com.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersenshop.com.
Back at Rogers Place in Edmonton, the World Juniors continues with day 4, but just 2 games today. So adjust your day accordingly. Noon Mountain, Sweden versus Austria. 4 p.m. Mountain, Latvia versus Slovakia. No games tonight. Canada will be back on the ice Saturday against Czechia. The voice of the Edmonton Oilers, Cam Moon, joins us here at Rogers Place. You're home, Mooner. I noticed you didn't do anything about the heat in here. Holy smokes, man.
Oh, you get used to it.
Do you get used to it?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's cold, though.
Well, it is right now, yeah. I mean, if the rink was full, it would warm up.
But it hasn't been. Do you think we'll have bigger crowds as the week goes along? Yeah,
I do. As Canada continues to be successful, and if they continue to be successful, then yeah, I think that will build.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you get to the quarterfinals, the semis, and the finals, if Canada progresses through, I think it'll build.
What's it like coming in here as the voice of the Oilers, but you're not calling the games, to be a fan again? How's it feel?
It's fun.
Yeah.
But quite honestly, like during the course of the season, I would come to every Oil King game that I could. And I went to every University of Alberta Golden Bear game that I could because I love the game. And I do love, and you could appreciate this, it is nice to go to a game when you're not working.
Of course. Every game's like that for me.
Yeah, but back in the day,
it's
nice to just kick back and relax. And like I love watching the Oil Kings because I can stay on top of
who's coming,
who's coming up, what's going on in the WHL, because that's important to me. I want to know. And I mean, this past year, and you just had Kirt on, and what a season the Oil Kings had. And unfortunately, they got robbed of playoffs 2 years in a row where they had amazing teams. And even in 2019, when they got to the Eastern Conference Final, losing out to the eventual WHL champion Prince Albert Raiders, I mean, they had a really good team that year too. And it was kind of maybe the end of that cycle this season, but yeah, outstanding team to come watch. So yeah, I like to just come and watch games.
Well, you'll be doing that Saturday at Commonwealth. Let's get to what I really want before we go to hockey. What I want is your take on the Elks and the Riders. You'll be there. Many-year season ticket holder here in Edmonton.
Yes.
Do you speak for all season ticket holders with the angst of this 2-6 team?
I don't know. I'd like to think I'm a glass half full guy. So
yes, you are.
There has been some things to be positive about. They had a couple wins on the road where they had to pull it out of the fire. They've had some games at home where they've maybe botched it late. Now the game in BC last week, well, that was over early, as it was the first time they went to BC. So it's been tough sledding for sure. But I think, and maybe I'm off, and maybe I'm just a cockeyed optimist, but I'd like to think there's been some progression here, and they've certainly moved players in and out, and you would expect that with a team that hasn't been overly successful. But it's better than last year, Rod.
Mm-hmm.
Last year was tough.
Well, what I've seen with the Edmonton team, and obviously I'm a Jones guy, I've become a Victor Cui guy. Cool as hell.
Great guy.
And it's like they take 2-3 steps forward and then a major step back.
It was a major step.
Not continual progress. Who's your quarterback? Like, who is your quarterback?
Well, therein lies a big problem. As you know, in the CFL, it's tough to be successful without a really good quarterback. And right now, it's Trey
Taylor
Ford.
Cornelius.
Yeah, Trey Ford got hurt.
Yeah.
And he had shown some promise. And I thought he had played well when he played. Unfortunately, he gets injured. So we'll see when he gets back and then how he plays when he does get back. But yeah, Taylor Cornelius has had some ups and downs for sure. Yeah, we'll see.
When you say you look for positives or you find a positive, I am positive they'll be good before Chris Jones leaves town. Whenever that is. He's got a 4-year contract. You know it's coming.
I agree.
Right?
I agree. It's going to trend in the right direction, and I think it is already. But yeah, I would like to see. I'd like to see more butts in seats, and I realize the team has to be successful for that to happen. And Victor Cui has worked incredibly hard with his entire staff at turning that around and getting people in the building, and they've done a bunch of different initiatives, and I would love to see more people. You remember the days of coming to Commonwealth.
It was amazing. 42,000 fans or more.
Well, especially when you'd see it when the Riders would come in, because those were, whether it was them or Calgary, those are best case scenarios as far as fans in the stands. So yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow, and I hope that I hope it's a good crowd. And I hope we have some fun. It looks like the weather's going to be great.
What a fantastic Saturday, though. Canada, Cheshire had 4, Riders, Elks had 8. It's cornucopia, you know.
Well, yeah,
it's a wonderful sports Saturday. Edmonton is the place to be on Saturday as a sporting landscape. But here's the thing: you've known me a long time.
Yeah, long time. Yes.
I'll just be sitting there with my popcorn at a game watching Duran during the play, outside the play. He's my guy.
Yeah.
Right? He's just entertaining to watch. You know what I'm saying.
Yes, I do. Yeah. That's so you're going to come to the football game as well? You're going to do the
Elks are hooking
header?
me up. Oh, yeah, it's the doubleheader Saturday. I couldn't. Is it Saturday yet?
Yeah.
Hashtag. I literally can't wait. Now, I don't bring the voice of the Oilers on and not talk about the Oilers. Come on. And any Oilers fans that are watching, if you have questions for Cam Shaft, please. Shane Mellinson watching in Deer Valley, Saskatchewan says, I found some old Saskatoon Blades cards with Cam Moon in the set. Not that long ago.
It's a long time ago. It had full flow.
Yeah.
I got no
Levi?
flow.
How's Levi, by the way?
Levi's doing
Still
well.
a Rider fan? His son.
Yeah.
How old is he now?
26.
Born in Saskatoon, hence being a Rider fan. He lived there for how long?
He did? Not very long.
3 months.
Yeah, like, not long.
Still a Rider fan, yeah.
It's so wrong. It's just
God
wrong.
bless the kid. Yeah, so to the Oilers. You talk about a great crowd at CFL games. When people complain to me about CFL attendance, for a myriad of reasons now, it's gas costs too much, the tickets are too much, to this, to that, bad night. I said, when people are paying $3,500 for an Oilers ticket on a Monday, don't talk to me about timing, cost, gas, nothing. Oilers never have to worry about attendance.
Wow.
Right?
I think you always do. Even when your rink's full.
It's called WIN.
Yeah. Well, no, that's true. I mean, the playoff run that they just had, that took them leaps and bounds ahead as far as anything
marketing
is concerned. Yeah, as far as marketing is concerned. It was a best case scenario, I thought, in the second round you get a Battle of Alberta, which we hadn't had since 1991. Two teams and the beauty of it is it was in the second round, Rod, which means both teams had won a round. So both teams have momentum, and it had the entire province and beyond, but certainly the entire province is now gripped. And people in Lethbridge, and Medicine Hat, and Red Deer, and Fort McMurray, I mean, they're all going out to watch the games. Or they're coming to Edmonton, or they're coming to Calgary because somehow they got tickets. You know what I mean? That was amazing. And that when the season started, that was something I talked about that I really hope it happens. I hope they meet in the second round so that you have that momentum, and then whoever wins, good for them. But even for the team that doesn't win, they already went around in the playoffs. There's some success. There's something to build on. It's good for hockey in our province. I think having that Battle of Alberta, and it didn't matter which way it was going to go, although I was happy the way it went, that was important, I think, for everyone. And I think economically, it definitely helped our province.
Daryl Sutter said it. It's great for the province before the series even began. Right?
He was right.
Yeah, exactly. Now, but all it's done, from what I've seen, and as you know, I think I've been in Calgary for 17 weeks, now here for a few. The love of hockey in this province is inspirational to me because I'm a hockey guy first. It's all they think about. And not just when they wake up in the morning, when they dream about it.
I know. And now with social media, now you get to see it. You can quantify it. Whereas before, I mean, you knew there was a lot of hockey fans. You knew people loved the game, but you couldn't look at it tangibly. And now you can. You're like, oh my, look at something goes out, and you see how quickly it goes on social media. It gives you a bit of a handle. And in the playoffs, when the Oilers would win here, after the game, it was absolute chaos downtown. It was awesome.
Of course.
All the people outside the Hall of Fame room, singing and chanting, and the noise, and 104th Ave was a sea of people. I love seeing all the people coming downtown and enjoying or watching the game in the plaza. It was, I want more of that.
Well, and I think you will have it, but the one thing that having come from Calgary to here, they can't wait till October for the games to start. Your fans can't wait until all it's done is whet the appetite for more. But I want to ask you this. You're an Oilers fan from birth. You're St. Albert Strut. The man invented it right here.
No, I'm Northeast Edmonton. I was always envious of the St. Albert Strut.
Oh, I thought you were St. Albert.
No.
Did you say that on your hockey card?
No, I did not say that on my hockey card.
Anyways, with McDavid taking his team to the Final Four in the National Hockey League, I don't know if he would have ever asked for a trade in his time, but he's certainly not going to now. He's seen the potential's been realized.
Well,
right? This wasn't a one and done, I don't think.
No, not at all. And I don't think so. And you see Evander Kane choosing to come back here after half a season. You see Brett Kulak choosing to stay here, after becoming a UFA, as well as Kane. Like, that tells me something, that those guys, they want to be here. I mean, and same with Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, Darnell Nurse, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, a summer ago, UFA, choosing to stay here. Like, those are all incredibly positive things, and maybe not something we would have witnessed 10 years ago, 15 years ago, whatever the case may be, 10 years ago. So I think that's important, and that gives fans optimism, gives them a real sense of hope, and I can understand why Calgary fans would be excited too.
Yeah, they can't wait.
No, and they should be fired up.
They're motivated.
They're gonna have a good team. They had a good team last year.
Can you be honest now? And you always are, but Mike Smith isn't the goalie of record here anymore. Were you always in the Mike Smith camp?
I was. I just
100%.
Well, I mean, there's going to be ups and downs, but I accepted that fact because of the passion he brought for the game and for the position. I mean, the way he played he was all out all the time, and sometimes that worked great, and then there was times that it didn't. But whatever, you could never fault the effort or the passion and his ability to move the puck, which is unworldly. Like, I just could never get over it, watching him in practice and watching him in games, to be able to retrieve pucks as quick as he could and then make a good decision and a hard pass on the tape. It was unbelievable. Like, I love it.
Did they upgrade?
Did they? Yeah, they probably did. I think Jack Campbell's going to be a solid netminder, and I do think it's important that Stuart Skinner gets more opportunity. He got some last year. He played in 13 games.
He's quality.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
Yeah.
But he's progressed. He was really good in the Western League. Then he spent some time in the ECHL, was good there. Took him a little while at the American League level, but he's progressed there. He's made the steps, and it's sometimes it happens fast, sometimes it doesn't. Like, everybody they progress and develop at different levels.
There's no one.
No, there
road.
isn't. There really isn't.
And just quickly, in 30 seconds or less, can Vegas get it done with Eric Comrie and or Logan Thompson in goal, or are they going to have to go find somebody?
I wouldn't be surprised if they go find someone, but I think Logan Thompson has earned the right to get that look in what he did last season. The former Brandon Wheat King played really well when he played, and down the stretch they didn't have much of a choice, and they had to play him, and he looked pretty good. I think he's earned the right to get the shot.
Right.
How's that?
Or if I got it right, I'm trying to remember who the goalies are there. Laurent Brossois, where did he end up? The old Oil Kings goalie.
He was there last year.
Yeah, he was there last year.
But Logan Thompson really kind of took the ball.
Goalie,
late.
Brandon South.
Yeah,
Vegas.
That's right. Yeah. There's a lot of Wheat King ties.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate
Thanks for having me on.
All right, we'll be talking more World Juniors when we come back on a Friday from Rogers Place on Game Plus TV, YouTube live streaming, and 24-hour sports radio streaming now at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Peterson Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Peterson Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Peterson Show.
The summer of hockey in Alberta continues, and the future of Team Canada is bright. The 2022 World Juniors return to Edmonton August 9th to 20th. Single game tickets available from $40. Buy now at hockeycanada.ca.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop staffed by PGA of Canada professionals is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
I gotta hit the beat. I gotta hit the beat. Gotta hit the
Download Dark Horse Bets today.
I gotta hit the beat.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Another beautiful day in the Alberta capital. You're looking live at Rogers Place, and we'll jump into a sports update now before a little more World Juniors analysis. The World Junior Men's Hockey Championship continues with a pair of games today. Sweden takes on Austria at Noon Mountain. You see the warm-ups are on the ice right now, followed by a matchup between Slovakia and Latvia. 4 p.m. Mountain, both on TSN. The Canadians want to improve to 3-0 when they face Czechia on Saturday. The Toronto Blue Jays start a 3-game series with the Cleveland Guardians tonight at Rogers Centre. The Jays went 3-5 on their recent road swing through Tampa, Minnesota, and Baltimore. And the Hamilton Tiger Cats welcome the arch-rival Toronto Argonauts to Tim Hortons Field tonight in CFL play. It's the second of 4 meetings in 5 weeks between the Southern Ontario teams. Argos beat Hamilton 34-20 last week. Bring the thrill of the track to your fingertips with Woodbine's Dark Horse Bets app. Its AI-powered insights and strategies help you make smarter bets. Straight out of the gate, feel the excitement of live stream horse races wherever you go. Download the app for free at playdarkhorse.com, available for Android and Apple devices. And September 16th, the legend of George Jones and Tammy Wynette comes to River Cree Resort and Casino, featuring Dwayne Steele and Andrea House. The legend of George Jones and Tammy Wynette features some of the greatest country songs ever written that continue to inspire artists of all genres. Along with the iconic music, you'll also hear stories of their real lives, filled with success, failure, hard drinking, and heartache. A must-see show for country fans. That is The Legend of George Jones and Tammy Wynette, September 16th at River Cree. Okay, our hockey analyst, Serena Taylor, joins us here at Rogers Place, not wearing Hockey Canada gear today. You decided to go with the Oilers stuff today. Any particular reason? Just warmer?
It's a little bit warmer. This one's a little warmer than the Hockey Canada jacket I bought. However, I almost multi-layered, and I probably should have.
Tacona Powley in Winnipeg says all NHL rinks are cold when empty. This is next level.
We've been in several empty NHL rinks. We were just talking about being in Sunrise, how cold it has to be there. Today is by far the coldest, and even the locals are complaining.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. It's cold. We'll survive, I'm sure. And viewers have questions about the World Juniors, but for you, I'll ask you what I asked Cam Moon, your assessment from Canada's play from the 5-2 win over Latvia to yesterday, Thursday's 11-1 win over Slovakia. Big change.
What I saw yesterday is what I was expecting to see against Latvia. I went over-under on Bedard getting 4.5 points, and that's what I was expecting to happen in the first game against Latvia. I think Canada really busted loose. We talked a little bit about the other day about Canada seems to kind of have to get each game under their belt to kind of get stronger and stronger. Yesterday, I think we blew it out. And, I mean, Mason McTavish was everything I expected him to be yesterday and then some. I mean, can't leave him alone in front of the net.
4 goals, 2 assists, 1 point off tying the Hockey Canada record, but his 4 goals equal the record that Connor Bedard set last year. Who do you think will be the bigger story by the time this tournament's over, Mason McTavish or Connor Bedard?
I don't know. Everybody wants it to be Connor Bedard, but the first 2 games, he's been, I would say, average at best. I'm not sure we've seen what Connor Bedard can bring. Having said that, it's like we talked about at the start of that game yesterday. I said to you, I feel like they should put Dufour on a line with Bedard and McTavish because Bedard's getting beat up in there. And even my dad said that same thing. They need to put him with 2 big guys. So that what happens yesterday, it's going to get worse as the tournament goes on. We both know that.
Well, and what you're referring to is not just in play, but after the play, roughing up of Connor Bedard. Now, it seems that he could stand up for himself and look that way, but he probably shouldn't have to.
He shouldn't have to, of course. But we talked a little bit about the international officiating yesterday, and we're like, what are we going to get used to? What are we not? Apparently, it's okay to grab somebody around the throat, like Connor Bedard. I'm like, what just happened? And nobody, but you know what? He's so young, but he's so mature on that. He doesn't let his emotions affect the way he reacts to that. Nothing. I was really impressed with that.
If anything, what it does is motivate him. Little things are a chip on the shoulder of Connor Bedard. Like missing the net will tick him off to come back around and make sure that before he leaves the ice on that shift, he'll score. And also players getting in his face in the chippy play. It's just, I guess he might as well get used to it now because it's going to be this way the rest of his career.
Absolutely. You watch Connor McDavid, it happens to him all game now. It's going to be the same thing, but I think he'll be all right. He's going to keep pushing.
Through 2 games now for Canada that are 2-0, and they'll look to go to 3-0 against the Czechs on Saturday. Who are some of the other players on Team Canada that have surprised you pleasantly?
Dufour. Love that kid. He's just, for a bigger guy, he can get going pretty fast. Obviously, we saw it with Victor Hedman in the playoffs this year. A bigger guy is going to generate a lot more energy and burn a lot more oxygen while they're actually moving. That kid does not stop moving his feet. He's been unbelievable. Ridley Gregg is really good as well. I've really liked Zellweger on the point for Canada. Just Canada's defense is always so good. I think people kind of underestimated them this year, but I think they're really solid. I love Zellweger.
I'll tell you one thing that's really fun at a hockey tournament like this is it's full of hockey people that know the game. Yet when I ask them who's Canada's biggest threat, I get a different team name from all of them. You know what I mean? Like Kirt Hill was just here. You saw the general manager of the Oil Kings. He said the USA. Teams have said Finland. They've said Sweden. You know what? That's awesome. It means the quality of play is pretty even.
Absolutely. The U.S. has been great, too, in their games. They've been just solid right from the start. Canada didn't have that boost right away in that first game against Latvia. The U.S. came out ready to play. You got to give them credit for that. And Slaggert even got a goal yesterday after being on your show. Don't bring any more of them on here.
Yeah. I mentioned there were some questions from viewers. Nelson says, is World Junior attendance a victim of Hockey Canada's recent reputation or a habitual change in having the tournament in August? Why do you think that there's not bigger crowds here at the tournament?
Well, I mean, people in Canada are very 9 to 5, Monday to Friday workers that take their time off at Christmas. People generally aren't taking time off in August to come here and go to games. I think it'll pick up on Saturday. I think we're going to see a bigger crowd on Saturday than we have, but a 4 o'clock local time start during the week is pretty tough for Canada to draw a crowd.
Not ignoring you, just reading some of the questions from viewers. Andrew Stout says it has to be more than just Bedard in order for Canada to win.
It has been. Bedard hasn't been the best player on the team, not even close. Not taking anything away from him, he just hasn't been the most dominant player. It will be. Canada always plays a strong team game. I'm not worried about that.
All right, any thoughts on these games today? Sweden versus Austria and Latvia versus Slovakia. Is there any team that's worming their way into your heart besides Canada?
Every time we've come here, Latvia's been practicing. I was so impressed with the Latvians, just the way they came out, they don't quit. And watching the game here in person the other day, you can see the Latvian bench. Those guys are a team. They're working hard as a team. They're getting each other pumped up. They know they got to be jacked up and ready to go to play Canada. I'm so impressed with them. I think they're just a great team.
Two fantastic games today and a wonderful doubleheader on Saturday. Canada versus Czechia at 4, followed by Sask Edmonton in the CFL at 8 p.m. If you want to come to the games, text World Juniors now to the number on the screen in all caps. World Juniors 902-518-3033. Hockey Canada and the World Junior Committee graciously donating ticket packages to the quarterfinals and the medal games to our viewers. So text us now and be entered to win a random draw to join us here at Rogers Place over the next week. Serena, thank you. Great job.
Thank you. They'll get free air conditioning too in here.
Yeah, dress warm. Lee Genier will join us next to put a wrap on the week at Rogers Place. You're watching on Game Plus. You can always catch the podcast wherever you enjoy your podcasts, including Amazon, Google, Apple, Stitcher, and Spotify.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital GMC. Reserve your brand new truck or SUV today. Check out our great selection of in-stock GM certified pre-owned trucks. And make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital GMC, making back to busy easy.
Gotta hit the beat. Gotta hit the beat. Gotta hit the
Download Dark Horse Bets today.
beat. I gotta hit the beat.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right. Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
The venue at River Cree, bringing you the best in live entertainment. One of the world's most gifted and accomplished ventriloquists, Terry Fader brings his repertoire of comedy, music, and unique impersonations to the venue at River Cree this September for one night only. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
Okay, here we go. Welcome back. Final segment. It's overtime, proudly presented by the Four Seasons Sports Palace, your home for the UFC and the World Junior Hockey Championship as Lee Genier slides back in here for one final segment. How you doing, LG?
Good.
Hey, you got the headphones going. Oh, because it's so loud in here? Is that why?
Yeah, I don't know when they're going to start blasting this again.
You're the only guy that's dressed warming up for this barn. I mean, I don't like to be a complainer, but wowzers.
That's chilly. That's cool.
What's a hockey rink, not a shopping mall, as they say. Hey, regarding our contest for World Junior tickets for the medal games, Randy from the Peg writes in and he says, RP Show, send a bus and hotel keys and gold medal tickets and we will come from the Peg. LOL. Well, basically we're saying if you are in the Edmonton area or anywhere across Alberta or want to even drive for a day trip, do it. But yeah, there's no hotel involved. BW says, Rod, did the Moose sign Lee long-term because he was to be the next CFL commissioner?
Spicy.
Interesting that BW, they've been waiting since the opening segment with your bold prediction that Randy Ambrosie is in his last season as commissioner of the CFL. And I actually got a text message here. I'm not going to say from whom. But apparently Jim, I won't even say any more than that. Two names coming up to be the next commissioner of the CFL. Mike Morielli, whom we all know, and Brian Crawford of Golf Canada. Do you know Brian Crawford?
I know the name.
Yeah, you're a big Golf Canada guy. So, literally, with over a half a season to go, is the future of Randy Ambrosie going to be the most talked about thing in the CFL now the rest of the way? What do you think?
I think it has to be. You know what? As it heads into the second half of the season, I definitely think it's going to be a topic of conversation. And like I said, it's been pretty anemic this year. Other than the Genius Sports partnership, there has been absolutely nothing. TV numbers are down. Crowds are struggling, maybe with the exception of Winnipeg. You've got to really look hard at what the future looks like of the league. Like, I said it from, this is a make or break year for the CFL and what the future looks like. So I'm going to say that Randy is definitely in the hot seat, and for good reason.
What evidence do we have of this partnership with Genius Sports? Please tell me. I would say I follow the CFL more closely than your average Canadian. What evidence is there of this?
Yeah, I don't see anything yet. I mean, the whole impetus of the partnership was really to look at the fan base and develop a younger demographic, right? You've got an aging demographic in the CFL in most cities. So I think that is supposed to really give us some intel up to what the fan base looks like. Any business needs to know more about their fan base or their fans or their customers, and that's where that partnership is supposed to look like. So I haven't seen anything yet. I'm sure they're working on it. They talk about a Drive to Survive type series as well. But again, is it going to be too little too late for Randy Ambrosie?
From Janelle in Saskatoon, she says, hey, my boys, thanks for the great shows. Thank you, Janelle, for tuning in. Ryan in Saratoga, New York wants to know if we'll have time to get Bo Levi Mitchell on the air today. No, we only got 5 minutes. Unfortunately, we don't have time for Bo Levi Mitchell to come on the show today, the quarterback of the Calgary Stampeders. Hopefully next week we'll have time to bring Bo Levi Mitchell on the air. From Rich Robertson in the chat, he says the CFL is in trouble. It is almost non-existent here in E-Town in what was once the flagship of the league. Oh, he brings that up now, and one of my favorite topics. Like, how do you lose your status as the flagship franchise of the CFL? Which, it's a homecoming game. We heard it on the radio coming down here to the rink today. Tomorrow's the Elks homecoming game. They're going to honor the 5-in-a-row championship teams. It's going to be awesome there. They held that for a very long time.
Oh, absolutely they did. And especially with the Riders coming to town, that would probably have been a 50,000 fan game. I would be surprised if they break actual 17,000 in the building tomorrow night.
Well, weather-wise, I believe it's going to be beautiful. But the gentleman, Rich, says once was the flagship. So let's say from 1980 to about 06. That is a 26-year span as the flagship franchise. Saskatchewan had it for about 10 years, 15 at the most, and now it's Winnipeg. How would you go about wrestling that away if you were a team?
Well, here's a perfect example. You look, there was 30,000 people in the building in Winnipeg last night. They're doing something right. Is sit down and find out what they're doing well. And I have that old R&D as rip off and duplicate, because you know what? They are doing it well, and they're doing it better than anybody else in the CFL right now.
And again, I almost feel like we should have a separate CFL podcast, because I would like to talk about all these issues. And one of those is how Winnipeg has taken the flag as the marquee franchise. You and I love talking about stuff like that, right? And we've seen how they've done it. BW in Edmonton says Machocha killed the Edmonton E legacy. Well, I was about to say maybe he's doing that in Montreal, but they won last night in Winnipeg. Break up the Alouettes. Maybe they're the new flagship franchise. Yeah. Were the Alouettes ever the flagship franchise in the CFL?
In our time? On the field, they were for sure. I look at, there was, in the West was really strong. Obviously, I was with Calgary for a lot of years, and we were sold out virtually almost every game as well. So we had a great business ops. We were winning. So, between Saskatchewan, Edmonton, Calgary, and now, like I say, it's migrated to Winnipeg as being a strong franchise. Amar Doman is really trying to do things in BC, but they're still not getting their ticket sales there, which is concerning.
Last minute of play in the RP show. Regarding attendance, again, there's no magic formula, I don't think, but Randy from the Peg brings up a great idea. He says she says the Stanley Cup was played in good weather, sold out. I had to think for a second. Who was it? Denver, Tampa, sold out both places. So don't say that it's nice outside, and that's why people aren't coming to the World Junior Games. Mind you, it's nice outside in Tampa year-round. Yeah. It's not necessarily in Denver. But anyways, Lee, you have a great weekend. Thanks for all your wonderful efforts this week, and we'll see you Monday right back here.
Excellent. I look forward to it.
And to you, the viewers, same thing. Thanks to Kirt Hill today, Eddie Steele, Kirt Hill, Serena Taylor, Lee Genier, our entire crew and staff. Enjoy the hockey, enjoy the football, the baseball, whatever you're into, and we'll see you Monday at noon Eastern here on Game Plus.
I never told you to shut up. Well, a couple times.
Yeah. Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. Done deal. Sold. Hell yes. Bingo. Hoorah. That's hot.